station, that is Sun TV. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this maiden edition of this program, Hangout with Journalists. This program is a program that will be discussing tropical issues, things that are happening in this country and around the world. And it's one of the programs that you have the opportunity to contribute to the program. I have with me this evening two gentlemen that will be contributing alongside with me on this program. I am your regular host for this program, Hangout with Journalists. My name is Olayinka Gabriel, and I will be the one to be hosting this program time to time. Usually this program will be taking place every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. I'm sure it's a program you will not afford to miss. Let me quickly introduce the young men that are beside me and are going to be joining me in today's edition of the program. By my left is Mr. Abraham Mena Joda. Mr. Abraham Mena Joda is the Director of Programs of Sun TV. Welcome, Mr. Joda.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
I also have with me by my right Mr. Ira. He is the Director of News and Current Affairs of Sun TV.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, young men, for being together with me on this program. This program, we are going to be looking at three basic things, and you will have the opportunity to contribute to this program. At the course of the program, a number will be displayed on your screen. Feel free to send us text messages. Feel free to send us WhatsApp message. You can send us WhatsApp message. The number to call or chat when the lines are open. For now, the lines are not open. But meanwhile, before the lines are open, you can send us text message. You can send us WhatsApp messages. The number to send us WhatsApp message or send us text message is 080-2059-2870. 080-2059-2870. We'll be happy to hear your view on some of the things that we will be discussing at the course of this program. Now, the first matter we are going to be discussing is the issue of 76 minority students that were arraigned today at Federal High Court, Abuja. The Federal High Court has arraigned 76 minority students, which they are charged with the offense of treason against the country. You will recall that during the EndSARS protest, some people came out with different flags of different countries like Russia, and they were protesting the EndSARS protests. Maybe let's go to the studio and let's play some of the video before we go deep into the discussion.
What's up?
Me and this body side cell. Apparently, these are the boys that the Tinubu government arrested, that they were flying. All these children where you see like this now, they go prison because they could not secure bail for them. They are going to the prison now. They could not secure bail for them. Now the question is this: what does this boy know about flag? This boy does not even have a basic education, let alone knowing that he flew a flag. So you are charging all these kids for treason. Me, I just came out of cell, and I was with them. That's the craziest part. This morning I was going to pee when I woke up. I was going to pee when I saw this boy. I was like, this boy is my children. So now we came to court. They could not grant their bail. They have adjourned the case. So where are they going to sleep? They are going to sleep inside the cell again. And already they stayed for more than 90 days. Today is the 93rd day. 93 days for all the children seated everywhere. Today is the 93rd one boom. This one only. Which food? This one only. See everybody. And all the way from Kano. Where they carry from? Yes. From Kano. Brought them from Kano to Abuja. Where's their parents? Their parents now go they cry. Nobody. See them. All these are kids. 10 years old. How old are you? And the best condition. 14 years. All of them are less than 17 years old. It's crazy.
Let me go and take the food. This guy is talking to the baby. They came to me here. The prosecutor should do their business. I can't hear any children. What's how?
Me and this boy inside cell. Apparently, these are the boys that the Tinubu government arrested, that they were flying Russian flag. All these children where you see like this now, they go prison because they could not secure bail for them. They are going to the prison now. They could not secure bail for them. Now the question is this: what does this boy know about flag? This boy does not even have a basic education, let alone knowing that he flew a flag. So you are charging all these kids for treason. Me, I just came out of cell, and I was with them. That's the craziest part. This morning I was going to pee when I woke up. I was going to pee when I saw this boy. I was like, this boy is my children. So now we came to court. They could not grant their bail. They have adjourned the case. So where are they going to sleep? They are going to sleep inside the cell again. And already they stayed for more than 90 days. Today is the 93rd day. 93 days for all the children seated everywhere. Today is the 93rd one boom. This one only. Which food? This one only. See everybody. And all the way from Kano. Where they carry from? Yes. From Kano. Brought them from Kano to Abuja. Where's their parents? Their parents now go they cry. Nobody. See them. All these are kids. 10 years old. How old are you? And the best condition. 14 years. All of them are less than 17 years old. It's crazy.
Okay. You have seen the situations and the pictures of what is going on. Let me hear your reaction, Mr. Jonah.
I watched the video and honestly I could not contain myself because it's very strange seeing minors being charged. It's an eyesore for this country that you see minors being charged for treason. I would like to look at it from two angles: the moral angle of the charge and then the legal angle. From the moral angle, how will you take kids from Kano State? Most of them were taken from Kano State. You take them to Abuja and you kept them for 93 days without without you concluding their cases if they've done the wrong thing or not. For as the case is now, they are suspects. From the moral angle, it is morally wrong for you to take children away from the care of their parents and to keep them in a place for 93 days with other adults. Now, from the legal angle, the child right section 211, if I'm not mistaken, says the age of criminal responsibility is 7 years in Nigeria. 7 years criminal responsibility, but no, 7 years criminal responsibility. But if you are to charge a minor, you are supposed to charge him in a juvenile court, not in the federal high court, the regular courts. And you are supposed to, the purpose is not to punish, but to rehabilitate. So if you keep them in Kuje prison for 93 days, you are not rehabilitating them. You are even punishing them before you really charge them to court, before the court decide if they are guilty or not. So morally and legally, I think it is wrong.
Okay, Mr. Ira, what's your take about the offense that they were said to have been committed?
I want to look at it from the perspective where they don't actually knew the consequences of their actions when they did what they did, because they were arrested for hoisting a flag of a foreign nation in the territorial integrity of Nigeria. And that is a treasonable offense. Simply because maybe they are not educated, they don't know the consequences of what they were doing. Some of them are up to 14, some of them are up to 10. At least they know their right from left to some extent. If they had known that hosting a flag of Russia in Kano is a treasonable offense, they might have not started. So I look at it from the perspective of where they were not properly educated, they were not schooled, they were not that enlightened. And come to look at it, we live in a country where terrorism is bedeviling us from every angle, from the northwest to the northeast, and you can see their age mates wielding weapons, AK-47, to shoot down Nigerian armies. The Boko Haram are grooming small boys of their age. So if these boys are taken from the perspective of the fact that they carried out an exercise classified as treasonable, it's a step in the right direction. Notwithstanding, I must admit that holding them without any reasonable court process for 98 days, or 90-something days is wrong. Keeping them hungry is actually wrong. It's an abuse of their fundamental human rights. But from the perspective of earlier mentioned, they should have been educated and schooled to know that what they are doing is treasonable. Then from the perspective of the fact that they are actually classified as the enemy of the state. So they should be treated according to that.
What do you think about what Mr. Ira said? The fact that they were holding the flag of another country in Nigeria and coming out to protest the issue of the bad governance in this country. What's your perspective?
Well, I think the right to protest is the right of every Nigerian. Irrespective of who is in government, you have a right to protest lawfully. Then again, you have a right to hold on to any flag. I don't think there's a crime in laws in our constitution that goes against you holding on to the flag of another country. We see flags of countries being displayed around. Probably there's a law that says you can't bring a flag of another country to a protest ground, but I don't know of that, because in the past people have brought flags of different countries to where protests do occur. That is one angle. Then the second angle I want to look at, you said that if you look at them, they are Northerners. The last time a report was released, 20 million out of school children in the north. 20 million. That is more than the population of over 50% of countries in Africa. The number of out of school children in Nigeria is more than the population of over 50% of the countries in Africa. So now, what is more treasonable than allowing children who are supposed to be in school to be out of school? It is a breeding ground for ignorance, and ignorance that can be used for negative vices. If the children were in school, they would know the difference between. They wouldn't even be on the protest ground. Most of these kids are kids down the streets that have no parental care. So the root cause of all this, I'm not even talking about the protest. I'm talking about, is it possible if these children are in school, were in school or are properly schooled, do you think they will go to the street running up and down? They wouldn't. So it is an indictment on the government on itself that you have 20 million children out of school and you think it will protect. They see it as a carnival, as a festival. People were hosting different flags and they joined the festival or the carnival. That is what these children ask. Ask them, what is the meaning of protest? Most of them don't even know.
Let's talk about the malnourished aspect of this. We saw in that video a lot of them were not properly fed. We saw how some were even fainting on the ground, which shows that it's possible that some of them have not eaten for some days. We saw the way they are looking at. I wish we could see the pictures and some of the videos. So we watched it earlier. So what has to do? Why do we have to get to this point? Even if we were to arrest these students, can't we feed them? Can't we give them proper food? That we have kept them for 90-something days, and some of them as if they are going to die. See somebody on the floor, maybe he has not eaten for some days. See his brothers, trying to help him out and all that. I want you to comment on the aspect of this malnourishment.
Yes, the truth is that our judiciary system is sick, and most of this, the rudiments, the processes of judiciary system in Nigeria, they should have been charged to court, just like Mr. Jordan mentioned earlier. Court, though I still tilt to the part that talked about it is a treasonable offense, so they should be taken to a court of higher jurisdiction, just like they were taken to. But they should be fed, they should be taken care of. Who will you sentence if at the end of the day they die? Because the way they are going now, some of them may collapse and they may lose their lives. So feeding them and keeping them fit, so at the end of the day, they can be sentenced or remanded for them to understand the consequences of what they've done. So I think that the government and whosoever has arrested them, the police, the prison, and whosoever is in custody of these children has a lot of work to do, in the sense that they ignore one of the vital aspects of this arrest. They are supposed to keep them fit until they have been condemned in the court.
Okay, you hope you know that you can join this conversation from anywhere you are watching us from. You can send us a text message on the number that is displayed on your screen. You can also send us a WhatsApp message. Later on at the course of this program, we're going to look at all your messages, and later on we'll also open our lines for discussion. So the number you're going to send, for now, you can send WhatsApp message and text message and be part of this conversation. If you are also joining us on Facebook, you can comment on Facebook. If you are joining us on YouTube, you can comment on the YouTube. And also, if you are joining us on our TV app, you can also drop your comment. We're going to be looking at that at the course of our program. Now, they were granted bail, and the bail was 10 million bail on each one. And in that video we watched, where we saw the very dark man, it was clear that none of them was able to meet the bail condition. What can you say about this strenuous bail condition that was given to these children?
Well,
okay, let's hear him. Let's hear Divya about the issue of bail.
This boy know about flag. This boy does not even have a basic education, let alone knowing that he flew a flag. So you are charging all these kids for treason. Me, I just came out of cell, and I was with them. That's the craziest part. This morning I was going to pee when I woke up. I was going to pee when I saw this boy. I was like, this boy is my children. So now we came to court. They could not grant them bail. They have adjourned the case. So where are they going to sleep? They are going to sleep inside the cell again. And already they've stayed for more than 90 days. Today is the 93rd day, 93 days for all the children seated everywhere. Today is the 93rd. This one boom. This one only. Oh. Which food? This one only. See everybody. And all the way from Kano. Where they carry from? From Kano. Brought them from Kano to Abuja. Where's their parents? Their parents now go they cry. Nobody. See them. All these are kids. 10 years old.
Okay, so what can you say about the bail condition?
As far as I'm concerned, in the first place, they were protesting against hunger, malnourishment. Now you arrest them for protest, and you are now telling them to pay bail of 10 million. If they have someone who can stand shorty for them for 10 million, they would not be on the street protesting in the first place. I think it's clear that they just want to hold on to these children and they don't want to let them go. Because I don't see any reason why a lot of Nigerians, about 120 million Nigerians are living under the poverty line, and you expect the dread of the society to fork out 10 million naira for bail. It is good as you telling them you want them to remain in prison there. So to me, I think it is a way of punishing them to ensure that they are not released, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, we have seen a lot of condemnation about what is currently happening. In one of the released, particularly by the Amnesty International. Amnesty International said, he said, Amnesty International has condemned the Nigerian government for its treatment of the 10 minor who participate in the End Bad Governance protests. The malnourished minor collapsed in an Abuja court, highlighting the despairing condition they face in detention. Issa Sanusi expressed concern over the government's failure to uphold human rights and the right rule of law. According to Sahara Reporter, Amnesty International Director Issa Sanusi expressed concern over the government's failure to uphold human rights and rule of law. The organizers have launched a human rights agenda calling for concerned action to promote human rights. The incident has sparked outrage and many criticizing the government's handling of the protester, journalists and human rights defender. The Nigerian government faced accusation of human rights violation, including extrajudicial execution, enforced disappearance, and arbitrary arrest. Human rights, Amnesty International is one of the world-recognized human rights organizations. What can you say about this, their view about what has just happened?
Yes, their observation is on the fact that it's correct to the extent that these children are minor. They have been treated with the most unhuman treatment. They've not been fed. They've not been taken care of. But that Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, have not taken into cognizance in their statements that they released the fact that these minors committed a treasonable offense. I don't know whether, I'm not a lawyer, but I don't know whether there is an opening for a minor to commit a treasonable offense and be treated with kid gloves. You understand? If a minor is wielding an AK-47 in the front of a military personnel in Boro, the military officer has the right to shoot him down because he's wielding a gun. If he doesn't shoot him down, he's going to kill him. And if a treasonable offense is committed in Kano, where it is a territorial integrity of Nigeria, right in the middle of Nigeria, not by the borders or in the way, it's something serious that should be taken seriously. Mr. Joda mentioned earlier on how there are instances where flags are being hoisted. Yes, if you
even sometimes in churches,
yes,
we see different.
Yeah.
Does that amount
Even
to
in
treason?
schools and-
Even in schools,
Yes.
does that amount to a treason offense?
Yes.
What actually make that holding of flag treason,
I think yes, that is
treasonable offense?
yes, I wanted to talk about that in the sense that when you hoist a flag, it is your intent that matters. When it is a war situation or a crisis situation or a protest situation, you're hosting a flag of a country outside Nigeria, it indicates something, it insinuates something, because I think the environment will determine whether your intent is, if you hold it in a church and it's a kind of a unity thing. That is the way I think so, because if security man will not just go and arrest somebody for holding the flag of Russia or Liberia or US in the church in Nigeria, because you'll be dancing and celebrating and praising the name of God, or wherever it is being.
Even in hotels, I've seen hotels, in school hotel, you will see different flags of different countries in a hotel. Does that amount to treason?
Maybe it's for diplomacy purposes. For when you host it in a hotel, you're trying to say it's an international hotel. when you host a Russian flag in a situation where there is a protest, when people are saying end governance, they even went up to the extent of saying there should be coup. They called for the overthrow of the government during that protest. These are things that should not be taken lightly. I think so. That's my opinion. I think so.
Okay, let me quickly read some comments, particularly on Facebook. Benjamin Urie say, "Wow, forever some TV, forward ever." Thank you so much, Benjamin Urie. We also have another one. James Emmanuel say, "Great much, James, for your comment." Daniel Andrew say, "Wonderful." Thank you so much, Daniel, for that comment. We also have the same Daniel say, "Great one." Thank you, Daniel. Bonnie Odwin said he's watching us from Abuja Phase 1 here in Jalingo. He said watching from Abuja Phase 1. Then Anna still Umar say bad government protest non-answer.
Great one. Watching us from Abuja.
Yeah, and that's true. It's actually bad governance protest, not answers. Thank you for that correction, Anas. We also have Benjamin. Yes, is he say yes. Benjamin Urian say no to bad governance. Olainka, you are doing a great work. Our youth are proud of you. Thank you, Benjamin Orinya. Anas still Umar say it's quite unfortunate seeing minor being charged in the apex court for ignorance of offense they have committed. Nigeria. Thank you so much. Silvanus Ande said, honestly, the judiciary is the problem of this country. That is from Silvanus Ande Garba. Benjamin Orian still said, Olainka Gabriel Mutoyo, by the passion invested in you, we promise to give our maximum support and cooperation unto you to bring to an end the things that are not in order. More grace, more wisdom to liberate, sir. Thank you so much. So keep your comment coming in, and at the course of this program, we are going to take them. You are also free to send us a text message. You can also send us WhatsApp message. We are going to take all these messages at the course of our program. So keep your messages coming in, and we thank you so much. It's a good morning presenter. That is from WhatsApp. I would like to emphasize the Nigerian leader seems to prioritize their own interests over those of the masses. He said they appear to be assaulted from effect of inflation, economic hardship, which does not impact their families Unfortunately, it seems they don't truly value well-being of the ordinary Nigerian like us. That is Tezungwe Nicholas, listening live from Abuja, the federal capital. Thank you so much. Keep those messages and those information coming in, and we'd like to hear from you how you feel about some of the issues that we are discussing. Let me ask Mr. Jordan, what is the best approach do you think the government will have taken in order to solve problems of this nature?
In the first place, those arrested should have been profiled into those that are minors, should have been taken to a juvenile court and dealt with in the juvenile way, that is to rehabilitate them and not to punish them, to educate them on the wrong of hosting a foreign flag in an hostile way. Then those that are of age can now be charged to the proper courts. So you cannot use a sledgehammer to kill ants. These are the future of Nigeria. If you create bad blood in their mind now, and they begin to see the country as a country that don't care for them, I don't think they will become productive in future. This kind of issues can breed hatred and anger towards the motherland. So the issue should have been handled with a carrot and stick approach. Profile them, separate the children from this thing. Then the most important thing, look for the adults. Look for the adults that are responsible, because somebody gave these children those flags. Who are the people responsible? Who are the sponsors? Those are the ones. That's why we have the NIA, we have the DSS, and we have the police and all the other security agencies. They are supposed to do their investigation, find out who are those that came up with the ideas of giving this flag. Because if you give these kids flags, tomorrow you can give them guns. So what I expected for 90 days, they should have arrested those that gave them those flags. So that is my view on it for now.
Okay. Look at human rights lawyer Adeyanju said all the children have been taken to Kuje prison. Kuje prison because it is difficult to meet their bail condition. I don't know whom when I started crying in court today. That is Barrister Deji Adeyanju coming. Mr. Ira, what should have been the proper approach to address this issue? Is the way the government, because I saw that you seem to be pro-government.
Yeah, I'm not pro-government, but I'm just trying to look at the antecedents of these things in this country. So many things are happening in this country, and it started like this. The security challenges normally starts like child's play. These minors that you're saying are capable of taking human lives. When bombs are being strapped in their body and they go to kill thousands. During the bomb blast in Kano some years ago, when thousands died and Nigeria was thrown into money, it was minor decreased. Now, when you don't nip it at the bud and you keep handling it with kid gloves, the teller that was sewing the flag for them was arrested. I think we give kudos to DSS then, because the teller was stressed and he was arrested. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was stressed and arrested. So it means DSS it's possible there's a security perspective to this whole thing. Understand? When it becomes an issue of national security, an issue that threatens security of lives and property, you don't give consideration to human rights. There are instances where in war situation, but this is a different situation entirely. There are instances in war situation where human shields do bring women and children so that these rules of engagement will not, but they'll keep on wreaking havoc. So I am not saying for sure that this is the way it is. But I think the security are taking a proactive method of tackling the situation. As to how the judiciary is taking the case and handling it, is something I may not be completely conversant with to analyze. But all I'm saying is that, yeah, their human rights have been trampled. They were not treated according to the tenets of human rights. But somehow, this is an issue of national security. That has always been my emphasis. If it is national security, you may not consider some of these things we are considering, and human rights considering. That's what I think.
Okay, keep your comment coming in, and we will still take your general comments, particularly at the end of this program. Now, up to another issue or another matter. NEC call for withdrawal of tax reform bill. We saw earlier yesterday when the National Economic Council, that is headed by the Vice President Shatima Abubakar, and has all the governors from different parts of Nigeria, or all the 36 states being part of it, and the governors unanimously agreed that such bill that seeks to bring a new tax regime should be withdrawn. We saw the governor of Oyo State, whom particularly said that this was the resolution of the meeting. But this morning we saw the special advisor to the governor, to the president on current affairs, on that is Bio. Yes, Bio Onanunga. I think it's the
information and strategy.
Information and strategy. He came up to give a statement on behalf of the president to said, the bill should go to the House, and anybody who has anything against the bill should go to the public hearing, and which means that the government is determined to push forward this particular bill. This particular bill seems to reform the tax system. If passed into law, we're going to see increment in some tax law. Value-added tax will increase to 10%. Education tax will increase to 5%. We're going to see increment in personal income tax, particularly for people who earn higher income, while the lower income are going to have tax-free. So what's your view? Let me start with Mr. Jordan. What's your view about these views about the governors and what the view of the presidency is?
Well, if the president had the presidential task force that came up with these taxes and he pushed it to the National Assembly, and the National Economic Council, comprising of the headed by the vice president and the governors, looked at it due to the outcry from people and said, okay, let us withdraw this bill. So going forward, the president said, no, let it go through a legislative process. Now, this is the beauty of democracy. I think personally, I would prefer it to go to the legislature. And this is where the legislators should work for their money. We are the ones who voted for the legislators to go there. And they are supposed to legislate for our interest. Now the governors have a relationship with the legislators. And it's obvious that they said, if truly they want the bill to be withdrawn, this is the time to come together with the legislators in your state and you come up with a common position that this is the position we are going to take, so that it will not end up being a political statement, lip service. The National Assembly say we should withdraw, but it's going to the National Assembly. I think now it becomes on all of us as citizens. We should ensure that we write letters. If you feel strongly about this, write to your legislator. Let him know your position on this bill. Let us look for professionals that knows about it. People like my CEO here, the accountant. You write to our legislator, let them know this is good, this is not good, this is what we want, this is what we don't want. At the public hearing, people should go there and speak. That is the beauty of democracy. So by the end of the day, the bill is thrown out. The presidency will know this is actually what Nigerians want. And if the bill can even be looked into and be upgraded to something that will suit us, because there are a lot of issues in that tax. There are some positive aspects of it, while there are some also negative aspects of it. So I think we shouldn't throw away the baby with the bathwater.
Okay, what's your view, Mr. Iram?
I agree with Mr. Jordan elaborately, in the sense that the NEC, the governors, have done a very good job. But that is halfway. They still have to come back, consult with the National Assembly members from the states in a manner that will show that they are serious with what they have said in Abuja. Not just saying it there and coming back and allowing. Call these people, convene a meeting with them, give them tangible reasons. Do all the politicking, do all the maneuvering that will make them sit up and ensure that, okay, for instance, from Adamawa, from TARABA, all the legislators, National Assembly members from TARABA will agree and say, okay, we from TARABA, we're not agreeing with this, Adamawa will do that, and all these things. Then when it comes to the stage of voting, the yeas have it and the nays have it, we will know that it has been trashed. I think this is just procedural. If you withdraw the bill at this stage, it may have some perspective to it. But if it reaches at that stage and the National Assembly said it is thrown out, then it is thrown out for good.
Okay, let's look at this issue very closely. People are looking at the situation in the country, the hunger in the country, and a lot of people are of the view that this is not the right time to come up with a bill. We are facing inflation. There is persistent rise in price of goods and services. What's your take about that?
Well, we've run this country to a point whereby we are between the devil and the Red Sea. We refuse to, over the years, to make use of our commonwealth in such a way that when the rainy day comes, we have shelter. We filtered away our goodwill. The days of plenty, we spent it like there was like Naira was going out of fashion. Now, the population has increased. The needs have increased. The resources have dwindled. What do? Should we sit and still depend on oil? Or should we be innovative with the way we get resources? Now, these are two things. But should it be done at the expense of the people? That is another thing. Then again, do people trust that this tax, if they pay, will it be used for? Will it not be filtered away just the same way the oil money was thrown and we don't even know where it is now? We only hear figures. The issue of tax, Nigerians are very patient people. Our problem is we don't trust the fact that this tax will be used for Nigerians. Nigerians are ready to make sacrifice. As a matter of fact, every Nigerian deserve an award for making sacrifice.
Survival.
But you have to be a Nigerian. You are supposed to have a survival badge. I saw, and I am conquering. So it is trust issues. We don't trust. If you don't manage the oil money properly, you don't manage IGR properly. If you collect the tax, will it be managed? Is there transparency? There is no transparency in all these things. That is our problem. And the biting hunger, the pressure on people is so much now that nobody wants to give a space for you to take a dime. Nobody wants to give to Caesar, because actually, if you give to Caesar, you might end up not having anything at all. So I think this is not the time to give to Caesar. I think let the government be more innovative. There are different ways in which there are resources which we can tap and also make money from. You don't really have to tax the people. For now, that is my point.
Okay, one thing that a lot of people are afraid is, it's like Nigerians don't have hope in our judiciary, in our legislators. So many people believe that if this bill is allowed to go to the House, the federal government may buy its way out and get it passed. What do you think about that, in line with the earlier suggestion you have given?
Yes, that is true. There are instances in this country where things like that happen. There are instances where the National Assembly become the rubber stamp of the government. But there are also instances where the government, the presidency, didn't have its way. There are instances of the third term, and there are so many situations where the National Assembly stood their ground and went with the people. So let's look towards that. I'm not agreeing that the tax reform is a good thing. I'm not saying we are ripe for those tax reform. But I'm saying this with the hope that the National Assembly will do the right thing, in the sense that they will not agree. At that point in time, there will be no way, there will be no maneuvering of bringing it back.
Okay, let's listen to what the special advisor to the governor on media and strategy, that is Bayo Onanuga, said. He said President Bola Tinubu received the National Economic Council recommendation that the tax reform bill already sent to the National Assembly be withdrawn for further conversation. He said President Tinubu, while commending the National Executive Council led by the Vice President Shetima Abubakar and the 36 state governors for their advice, stated that he believed that the legislative process, which has already begun, provide an opportunity for input and necessary change without withdrawing the bill from the National Assembly. He further said the tax reform bill has also generated controversy, with the northern Nigerian governors recently coming up to reject the sharing value-added tax on derivative basis. The president's statement said the Tinubu welcomed further consultation while the National Assembly considered the bill for passage. While urging the NEC to allow the process to take its full course, President Tinubu welcomed further consultation and engagement with key stakeholders to address any reservation about the bill, while the National Assembly considered them for passage. When President Tinubu set up the Presidential Committee on Tax and Fiscal Policy Reform in August 2023, he had only one objective: to reposition economy for better productivity and efficiency, and make the operating environment for investment and business more conducive. The objective remains more critical even today than ever before. The statement further argued that, having worked for over a year, the Tax Reform Committee received input from different segments of the society. The committee worked for over a year and received input from different segments of society across the geopolitical zone, including trade association, professional body, different ministries and government agencies, governors, traders, students, business owners, and other private. The presidency lists some of the high points of the bill as elimination of multi-taxation while making Nigerian economy more competitive by simplifying tax obligation for business individual nationwide. It will also noted that the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill, which is part of the proposed proposed new rule of governing of administration of all tax in the country. Its objective is to harmonize tax administration process across federal, state, and local judiciary to ease taxpayers' compliance and ease the revenue for all tiers of government. Others include Revenue Service Establishment Bill, which seek to re-establish the Federal Inland Revenue Service as the Nigerian Revenue Service to better reflect its mandate as revenue agency for the entire federation, not just for the federal government. The Joint Revenue Board also proposed to replace the Joint Tax Board covering federal and all state authority. As an office of tax under the Joint Tax Board, it also set to establish with the aim of protecting taxpayers' interests, facilitating dispute resolution. The statement also argued that the bill will effectively coordinate federal, state, and local tax authority, thereby eliminating the overlapping responsibility, confusion, and inefficiency that has plagued tax administration in Nigeria for decades. While there may be different in approach or specific provision of the new tax law, what is not in contention is the need to review our tax law and how we administer them to serve as overall national development agenda, the statement reads. What can you say about this President's statement?
This is, if you look at the whole package, you can see that there are a lot of items on the list that is that will be good for at least to restructure the tax system and the rest of it. And there's this inequitable distribution of the tax and VAT. And if you look at it, they even said there's going to be an ombudsman who is going to look into the inequitable distribution of taxes. So these are some of the things that the reason why it should go through the legislative process. The items that are not favorable to Nigerians should be dropped, and the one that is going to bring reform and also promote the effective collection of tax. Because even right now, the taxes that we are supposed to collect now, do we really have a system that remits this tax? Have we been able to spread the dragnet in such a way that it owes everybody that is supposed to pay tax? These are some of the things. You plug the leakages. Then there's well, I don't know, this government seems to like to change name, change anthems, and they also want to change it to Nigeria Revenue Service. Well, I don't know how that will affect the effectiveness and efficiency of the organization. But I think we should critically look at this and see the federal government tax laws on taxation have some very eminent accountants and economists on it, and I know that they've done a very good homework. So we shouldn't throw away all their recommendations. We should pick the ones that are good and we should drop the ones that will put weight on Nigerians for now.
Okay, what's your take about what the president just released, the press statement by the special advisor to the governor on strategic communication?
The truth is that Onanunga is just in the sense that if you follow that press statement from the beginning to the end, it's the language, the body language of that statement is not looking at the situation where this bill will not be passed. They are already looking at the implementation and the execution of all those things like that. So I think this statement is not fair to Nigerians. It is not balanced. But the ball now is in the court of the National Assembly and the electorate. If there is a way Nigeria can exert influence on those people they have sent to the National Assembly to do the right thing as their representative in the National Assembly, it is fine. Else, the presidency is already looking at the situation where the National Assembly will pass this bill into law, and they are already talking about the changing of name, just like Mr. Jordan mentioned. They are good with that. They are looking at it towards that end. So still come back to what I said earlier. The electorates, the governors, all the group that feel that this bill should not be passed should start working, and the time starts now, because delay is dangerous. Exert all the influence, put all the necessary pressures, and see to it that this law is not passed. Else, we're going to face the music.
Okay, thank you so much. If you are just joining us, this is Hangout with Journalists. I have with me the Director of News and Current Affairs of Super TV, Mr. Ira Daniel Ikwe. We also have Mr. Jordan with us in the studio, the Director of Programs of Some TV. And they have been talking about some tropical issue happening in our country. You also can join the conversation. You can send a text message. You can send WhatsApp message through this number 08020592870. You can also comment on our Facebook channel. You can comment on our YouTube channel. You can comment on our app and any of the channels that you are watching us from. We're going to look at some of the things that you are saying. Now, let's come back to Taraba. And today, we saw Governor Abu Kefas sign some memorandum of understanding with the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCC. Some weeks ago, we saw the governor went to China, that is at the headquarters of the ECC Construction Company. And today in Abuja at the T.Y. Danjuma House, we saw him having some meetings and agreement. Now let me read some of the reports sent in by one of our reporter, and he said Governor Abu Kefas has doubled efforts towards the implementation of the TARABA Development Master Plan 2024. It is not far-fetched from his stakeholders meeting with the president of the Chinese Civil Engineering Construction Company held at T.Y. Danjuma House, Asokoro, Abuja. And he said, speaking, the governor said his collaboration with the Chinese company will no doubt unlock potential of the states. The governor noted that the ongoing rehabilitation and construction of Ambabasunte Airport in Jalingo, which is the gateway to the state, is a demonstration of the commitment of his administration towards development. He expressed hope that no distance time the state is going to take lead in energy distribution, adding that the new hydropower project, which the CCEC will launch to distribute energy to the state and other parts of the country. The governor said by working with the CCECC, the state can expand its road network, improve transportation system, manage its resources, and drive state economy for the interest of all. Commenting, the president of the China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, Chan Chin, who was represented by the chief executive director of the company, Joe Bochu, said their partnership with Taraba state government is a remarkable step to the development of the state. He then understood the importance of infrastructure to the progress and prosperity of the state, expressed readiness to serve the state, even as he said the CC has over the years been a major service provider in the country. On the state of the development of the Taraba State Master Plan, Engineer Alex Onibu, who spoke to that regard, said Taraba State Development Plan 2024 did not only concentrate on Jalingo, the state capital, but made provision for development of senatorial zone and all the local government area of the state. He said their firm was one that took the Abuja Phase 2 master plan and expressed hope that the state will soon be a force to reckon with as far as development is concerned. The meeting later went into a closed door, and the event featured signing of MOU between the company and Taraba State government. Mr. Jordan, what can you say about that?
Well, the CCECC company is a well-known construction company in Nigeria. I think the first time I came across them was during 2005 thereabouts, where they constructed the road from in Lagos, the road from Egbeda to Lasu Gate, and they did a very beautiful job at that. That was the first job that opened the doors for them in Lagos and other parts of the country. We know the Chinese can give you what you want. They can give you quality and they can give you quantity. My take on all this is Taraba has infrastructural deficits, which everybody knows. We are deficient in roads, in airports, in many areas. And I think we need partnership with companies like CCECC, who will be able to fund some of the projects and you just bring counterpart funds, or who can give you loan, or will allow you to structure the project in such a way that you can pay in the long term. The only thing I know is that we should understand the fine print of the agreement of the contract. It's a very good one. And I saw another report. During the signing, they had the Minister of Regional Planning, who is from Taraba State, also there. And he was saying they are ready to support Taraba State in the development of infrastructure. And just like the governor said, he is bringing in this company not really to start new projects, but to complete the projects that are already on ground. I think that is a good one. We need to mop up. There are a lot of things that are on ground that need to be finished. And now, if you complete those projects, you now know where exactly we stand. But if you leave a project that is on ground and you start a fresh one, at the end of the day, the ones you leave on ground will begin to deteriorate. So it's a good one if the contracts are properly signed, because we know we've heard stories recently of Ogun State and seized the aircraft and the rest of it. But I believe in the case of Taraba State, we wouldn't go that route. We will ensure that the proper contracts are signed and we keep to agreement with the CCECC. And the CCECC is not a company that wants to leave Nigeria for now. So they are not a company that will, if you hold them, they seize your aircraft or they seize your data, because they have long-term investment in Nigeria and Taraba. To me, it's a good development. The governor needs to ensure that in any area we can get funds or technical partners to ensure that our infrastructure improve. It is really welcome.
Okay, what's your take, Mr. Ira?
Yes, I don't know if there is this development master plan for this one. If there was no any, this is a step in the right direction. Everything is...
There was the 2024 master plan that was recently developed by the KFAS-led administration.
And that's what I'm saying. The governor is doing something that is spectacular, in the sense that everything is foundational. If the foundation is faulty, you will not be able to achieve anything. So for him to have says that missionaries in southern Taraba, places like Kashaka, there were airstrip in Takum, Kashaka, even in Jalingo here, there used to be airstrip. But along the line, they disappeared like that. So the resuscitating of an international airport, or the airport of international standard in Jalingo, is a step in the right direction. The one thing I want to give kudos to the governor is the fact that he deemed it wise to start from the foundation, throwing out the plan first. Then, as time goes on, even subsequent government after he has left will stick to the plan. Abuja is what it is today. So many presidents have come, so many leadership have come, but the reason why Abuja is still growing and is still
taking the shape it is taking now is because there was a master plan, and that is a step in the right direction. Okay, this development, as we say it, that happens in Abuja was attended by the governor, the secretary to the state government. We saw also traditional rulers, the Akuka of Ukari. We saw the Gara of Donga. We saw the chief of Takum. We saw the Lamdo of Gashaka. We saw the Pantin of Zing. I see as if the governor is trying to. We also saw the member representing Jalingo Yoro constituency. We saw the member representing Adokola Lau. We saw the senator representing Let me hear your final thoughts.
Well, my final thoughts on this, I'm going to speak to the issue of Taraba State. I think the government have the master plan is out, and the work is now in progress to implement that master plan. There should be transparency. There should be no vacuum in information dissemination. It should ensure that people know what is going on, and that is why we have like Sun TV, whereby we can help disseminate the information about what the government is actually doing. Because in this area of social media, you will see a lot of misinformation about the contract, about the TARABA's relationship with CCECC. I think government need to manage the information properly in such a way that people will be sure that this collaboration with CCECC is a collaboration that is going to bring development to Taraba. And I believe we in the Sun TV here will ensure that yes, we promote the good of Taraba in any way we can.
Yeah, yes, I want to discuss. I want to talk about the issue of tax reform. The issue of tax reform. The truth is that, in my own opinion, we're not yet ripe for that. So every hand should be on deck. Every influence should be activated. Every influence should be exerted to see to it that we are not thrown into another higher level of suffering. That is what we should. The governors, the national assemblies, the community leaders, just like we have been doing here in Sun TV. I want to believe that the CEO will give the platform for such comments, such hearing. If you have a way of saying it out, come over. There's a platform for you to say it out. Tax reform, we're not ready for that at this point in time. Maybe in the future, but for now, I don't think Nigeria is ready for that tax reform.
Okay, I want to sincerely appreciate all my guests, Mr. Ira Daniel Ukwe, the Director of News and Current Affairs of Sun TV. Thank you for sharing your view with us on this program. I also want to appreciate Mr. Joda. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on this issue. I want to appreciate all the crew, Mr. James, who joined us together with you from the studio, and Mr. Shamaki, who managed the floor on this program. I want to thank all our viewers for being part of this maiden edition of Hangout with Journalists. This program comes up 6 o'clock every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's good. It's a platform in which we will be giving you opportunity to hear your view and to say one or two things to the things that is happening in this country and the world at large. Thank you so much. You can keep your comments coming in, and we love to hear your feedback about the program, about some of the things we have discussed.